there, it would be impossible to name them all. While many of these games become very popular, selling millions of copies, a lot of them just don't receive as much attention as they deserve. Hello, this is Pythster, and today I'll be reviewing the top 10 most underrated games of all time. The only rule is that there can only be one game per franchise on the list.
And here we go.
Number 10. Scribblenauts Unlimited. This game is really fun, and I rarely hear people talk about it. Like blowing up people with a bazooka? Play Scribblenauts Unlimited. Like starting a zombie invasion? Play Scribblenauts Unlimited. Like creating your own evil monster? Play Scribblenauts Unlimited. The only reason this isn't a lot higher on the list is because the plot is so stupid. I must have lost like 20 IQ points by just watching the grand finale. Number 9. LEGO Star Wars and LEGO Star Wars 2 were some of the best-selling GameCube games of all time. The rest of the LEGO games generally range from okay to just plain awful. However, there is one exception. LEGO Indiana Jones 2 for the Nintendo Wii was ignored by most gamers, even though it had funny cutscenes, great gameplay, and complex puzzles. The only problem I have with the game is how inaccurate in the movie it is. Number 8. Starfox 64 is by far one of the most beloved games of its time. In fact, it was so good, they made a remake for the Nintendo 3DS. Starfox 64 3D allowed you to save between missions, had a new soundtrack, and a new score attack mode that could be unlocked. The reason nobody talks about this game is probably because the latest installments weren't exactly fan favorites, so everybody just assumed they would screw up the remake somehow. Number 7. Wario World. No, this isn't my Mario series entry, this is a Wario game. I know it's a spin-off, but this is my list, so be quiet. Sorry. Anyways, Wario World is a great 3D platformer for the Nintendo GameCube that nobody ever talks about. Although it's not my favorite, the game has some challenging levels and great boss fights. Overall, I would recommend buying this game if you have a GameCube or a Wii. Number 6. The Paper Mario series. I honestly try to stay as unbiased as possible with these lists, but Paper Mario is just plain awesome. The reason the series is so underrated is because the first game was released in 2000, near the end of the Nintendo 64's time. Even so, it still has a decent sized fan base, so I didn't think it should have a too high of a spot on this list. Number 5. Skylanders Giants. Let's face it, the original Skylanders was really cheesy and disappointed many Spyro fans. So naturally, when the sequel came out, most older fans didn't really buy it. They don't know what they're missing. Skylanders Giants is so much better than the original, it's mind-blowing. The story is better, the dialogue is funnier, and the arena battles are just plain epic. The game was so awesome, Disney even ripped it off. Luckily, Skylanders Swap Force is coming out soon. Number 4. Nintendo Land. When I first got my Wii U on my birthday, a game called Nintendo Land was packaged alongside it. The next day, I popped it in and played it. While most of the single-player minigames were boring or just plain stupid, the multiplayer was so much fun. My favorites were the Luigi's Mansion and Legend of Zelda minigames. Overall, Nintendo Land is great and may very well be the best Wii U game so far. Heck, Smosh agrees with me. Maybe. Number 3. NFL Blitz. Back before the Madden series came to be, football games were so unrealistic it's funny. One of the best was NFL Blitz. It was so glitched up and nonsensical that I would play it for hours. Nobody plays this anymore, but it's probably my favorite all-time sports video game. And this is coming from a guy who literally hates football. They just don't make games like this anymore. Number 2. SpongeBob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom was one of the first video games I ever played. So naturally, the reason this is number 2 on the list is bias, and more bias. However, the game is still awesome. It has great levels, fun gameplay, and even some hilarious dialogue. Even if you hate SpongeBob more than anything, you might just end up playing it on your GameCube for hours on end. I guess nobody likes it just because it sounds stupid. Number 1. And the number 1 most underrated game of all time is Minecraft. No, just kidding. If there's one game I'm more nostalgic for than Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, it's Croc Legend of the Gobbos. Never heard of it? I feel sorry for you. Although it also came from the Sega Saturn and PlayStation 1, I only played the PC version. I never would have guessed it was a 1997 game. The graphics were great, the boss fights were intense, and the levels were so much fun. If I ever find another copy, well, let's just say my friends won't be seeing much of it. Sorry, friends. You'd think there'd be a lot more to say about the most underrated game of all time, but honestly, I got nothing. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Yeah, I'm hilarious. No, seriously, thanks, but... Shut up. That's it.